It's Josh again, believe it or not. As you might have seen, I got my hair cut, so I look a little bit different, but hey, that's okay. I needed it cut anyway, so I'm just gonna do this. Um, so I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna talk about my life, my childhood, I guess, with having Asperger's syndrome. I know, like, it's kind of weird to tell my story on YouTube, but I'm gonna do it the best I can. So please bear with me. I just don't. I'm just kind of nervous still. I mean, yeah. So well, basically, when I was a kid, I knew I was I knew it was kind of different when I was a kid because like I couldn't develop friendships that easy. I don't know if any of you other people out there with Asperger's have had this problem, but I know that I have had problems with making friends and developing relationships with friends or with other people. And yeah, so I started noticing that when I guess I was about 8, I think, and like 8 or 10, between 8 and 10. When I was 10, I was diagnosed with Asperger's, right? Yeah, so then I kind of sloughed it off a little bit, kind of like just didn't really know what to expect from it until I just started noticing that I was kind of different because, as I already said before, I couldn't develop friendships that easily. Like my brothers would always come home and they would be talking about these cool people they met and how they were developing friendships, and I kind of like I was like kind of perplexed on how they could do this because I wasn't able to do this very easily at all. Like zilch, nada, zero. So yeah, when I was a kid, when I was a kid, I was kind of made fun of a lot by I guess what you call it, the bullies the bullies in school, and I didn't take kindly to that at all. Like I was pretty much a wreck as a child for a little bit. I mean, I was a very I was very friendly and very friendly and very shy. It all depended what kind of day it was or what kind of week. But on the other side, on one side, I was like kind of like a little bit of a wreck too because I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any friends until like any friends that I could start calling friends, as you could say that, until I was in grade 10, I believe, when I started, actually developing friendships a lot easier because a lot of people started to notice me and started to notice that I wasn't really getting along. So I got along with people fine. Don't get me wrong on that, but it's just that people didn't get along with me because they didn't understand me. I mean, I was the kid in school that would pretty much a walking Google encyclopedia. You could talk to me and you could ask me almost anything about any encyclopedia that was inside the school library, and I could tell you right for like almost to the page where you could find that piece of information. So I kind of obsessed over stuff too, I guess you would say, in elementary school. So, and I guess that kind of like people, because people didn't understand why I did that. I think that's another reason why they picked on me, because they always saw me. I wouldn't be reading like the next Harry Potter thing. I didn't really see the whole point in like Harry Potter or the other kind of things that my generation read, like novel wise, and like I'd read the novels that were given to me for school projects, but I still didn't see the point in it. Like just I didn't get the point in why I was reading something that was completely fictional over something that I could actually learn from. If you get what I mean. So yeah, like I guess that kind of tells you a little bit there. So yeah, I was made fun of because of the kind of the material I read, that and the kind of music I listened to. I used to listen to a lot of, like, I still do. I listen to a lot of classical music. Kind of really relaxed me. I told everybody in my elementary school that I did that, and everybody was like, "What? You're weird. You don't listen to Green Day or anything?" I was like, "No, I've never heard of those bands." I didn't really feel the need to. Like, classical music for me was like it was the stuff. I loved it. Like, it put me to sleep at night. It woke me up. Tapped my alarm. Man, I listened to it on my like on my Discman. I had a Discman in school, so yep. So I guess yeah, like just the things I did, like you know, there was the reason things I did and why I did them was the reason why a lot of other people in my a lot of people in my like elementary school and some in a little bit I had a little bit of bullying in my high school, but not as much. Not as much at all. Like in grade fives to like seven was pretty much the worst, you know, the worst years I could think I can think of, because I had no friends. I had nobody I could actually go to in the hall and actually just have a chill conversation with. And it kind of really hurt me too. I gotta say this. I got, like, I used to come home and like from like grade five to like almost grade seven. I used to come home like at least one or two times a week, if not more, in tears. Like, it was insane. Like my dad, my parents were like they didn't like it when I was in that time, because I was like I was like a lot of times in the week coming home in tears. Like, no parent should ever have to deal with that kind of way. So yeah. Also, like, kids, like, well, when I was after 10 years old, and like my school, like the school system in my old school, like they knew I had Aspergers, but they didn't really understand it at all. Understand it to the like they understood it to the extent that they wanted to understand it, and it was kind of like it was kind of like bad in a way, because it was almost like they didn't really want to take the effort into really understanding what it was. Like, I knew they had to understand a certain aspect of it, because like it was part of the school board regulations. So I don't know, but it just seemed to me that they didn't really want to get into the the nitty gritty stuff of it. Yeah, it kind of one thing I remember when I was a kid, like I I was in the hall, I guess, and like I would just I would always pick out like an encyclopedia, and like kids didn't they didn't get me at all, like seriously, at all, like nothing, nothing that I could do, like could actually get the other kids to like appreciate me more. It kind of sucked in school. Like, I did not like it at all when I was in grade 5 to like grade 7. But when grade 8 hit, a lot of the kids that were in my class from grade 5 to grade 6 and then grade 7 and obviously in grade 8, like they started like noticing me a little bit more. They started noticing that, I guess, like I think they started realizing that they didn't need to make fun of me because of who I was. They just, like, a lot of people, like, I had a huge like percentage of people in my school, in my grade 8 year, like they just started they just stopped, and they kind of got to know me a little bit more. They started to figure out like why I was the way I was, a little bit, not as much as in high school, but but a lot more. It was like grade 8 was like a huge stepping stone for me because a lot of kids just stopped making fun of me. Like I had almost 50% less, like 50% or more less, people making making jokes about me, making fun of me, and like being that guy who always wants to like pick on the little guy in school. That's what I was. But I was, and like I was the little guy, and like I guess like socially wise, but I was like I didn't get well. Basically, I didn't get anybody like attacking me or getting assaulting me because I was kind of like a kind of a big kid in height in grade 8. So I guess size acts like a defensive measure. So, anyways, yeah, just forgive me. I'm kind of nervous in this video as well. So just bear with me again. So then when grade nine and grade 9 happened, like another like 30% less people are like making fun of me, but they were making fun of me, I think, behind my back, not in front of me, so that I could actually see it. Because a lot of people like just didn't want to hang out with me in the halls, and so I kind of picked up the gist that there was a lot of behind my back stuff that I didn't know of, and that all kind of died down after like grade 9, like then grade 10 swung around, and then a lot of people started really liking me. It was like it was really good. Like grade 10 to like grade 12 were like my best years in school. Like it was like to say the most of it. Like it was actually quite like quite fun. Like a lot of people started to get to know me like even at an even greater knowledge that, and I started going to a a youth group at one of my old churches, and that youth group had a whole whack load of my old friends and old people in the church there that were like they kind of remembered me, but they did remember me, but they didn't really know who what I turned into. So I started going there, and like I just had like friend after friend after, like as soon as grade 10 hit, I had started having friends after friends after friends after friends. Like a lot of people just couldn't get enough of me, if I could say that. So it was actually quite fun. Like grade 10 to 12, like it was maybe a little bit of grade 9 too. I'm not really sure because I've been graduated high school for almost 3.5 years. So I mean, like, yeah, grade 10 to grade 12 was quite fun. Everybody kind of liked me. Like, well, after grade 12, like, man, a lot of people, like, I was starting to develop good and strong friendships. Like, I was happy. I was getting there, and I was kind of getting through those boundaries a little bit. That those social boundaries, I guess, with developing friendships. But I still struggle. I still struggle a little bit when it comes to people that I have no idea who they are. Like I am terrible for introducing myself to someone that I have never met before. Like that is just like I can't do that. It takes a lot of effort into me, to do that. And yeah, so it's kind of crazy that way. Well, I do think I will get over that. I will overcome that. But for now, as it stands, it's pretty dang difficult for me to go up to somebody that I haven't ever met or ever even known before and just say, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm Josh." So basically, that's a little story, a little snippet about my life and my childhood with Aspergers, and why a lot of people just didn't really get the gist of who I was. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, really, really crazy. But hey, I'm getting through I'm overcoming these boundaries, I guess you would say they are, like, quite efficiently. It's actually quite cool. Like, I'm like I got regular friends with like regular hangouts with a few of my friends right now, and man, we're really hitting it off. So, yay, if you could say that. So yeah, So that's just a little snippet about my, about my life and my childhood. I might make a second part to this video, but I'm not sure. So I'll have to get back to you on that. You'll know in my next video. So I guess this is goodbye. Just, be cool. And for people who out there who do not have Asperger's syndrome, don't slough or don't push any people or person that you know that has Asperger's, because it really hurts them inside deeply. So just be positive, and if anybody of you are still in high school or elementary school that are watching this, just that person who has Asperger's, if you know that they have Asperger's, like like get to know them. They're like, so a lot of us are really cool guys and gals, as I've said before in my last video. Like, we really like it, like we'd really like it if people were to actually get to know us, because we have a very hard time to get to know, like, you guys per se, like, on our own efforts, because it's really difficult. You have no idea how difficult it was for me, and it's like very difficult for other Aspies, people with Asperger's. Like, it's very difficult. So next time you see someone with Asperger's, or meet someone with Asperger's, don't just disregard them in any way, shape, or form. They don't like that at all. So, and I didn't like that. So yeah, just be cool with them, and just be cool with us, and be cool with each other. 2 thumbs up. All right, 2 thumbs up. I gotta. Yep, I guess this is goodbye. I know it's kind of weird. I gotta, this weird. I'm still kind of nervous. So, all right, bye.